Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Midnight Glow, and I am a lantern keeper. Not the most glamorous of titles, I'll admit. I'm not exactly a standout pony in the looks department either. A medium-built stallion with a teal green coat and a short white mane. As cheesy as it sounds, when I was born, my parents took one look in my eyes and saw a bright future ahead. Or so the story goes. Truth be told, I never got to know my parents very well. They passed away when I was little, before I got my cutie mark. Most ponies would suffer permanent mental scars from losing their parents so soon. But not me. I'm not trying to brag. I harbor no shame towards those who do struggle with parental death. It's just that, for my family, death was never something to be feared. Quite the opposite. For us, it's a celebration. We bless the souls passing on to the next life, thanking them for all they achieved in life and ensure their journey is a safe one, making way for new foals to be born. As morbid as it sounds, my parents' funeral was the moment I knew that carrying on the family profession was my true calling in life. That is why I am a lantern keeper. Sometimes, a pony's soul cannot find its way to the afterlife alone, for reasons as numerous as there are names for the restless dead. Ponies call to me when they find themselves at odds with the unquiet dead, so it's my job to soothe the wayward spirits, using the light of our great Princess Celestia to guide them to the great beyond. It's sometimes difficult for me to sympathize with ponies who find themselves at their wits' end dealing with ghosts, as they most often call them. From letters alone, I can tell how frantic they are to get rid of their newfound undead companions. I suppose coming face to face with one's own mortality can be an unpleasant experience. I just find they exacerbate the problem with flared tempers, working themselves up as much as the lost soul. Still, it is not my place to judge. If I can remain calm, I can offer sanctuary, both to the distressed living and the restless dead. In my time, I have traveled the length and breadth of Equestria, serving both royalty and common pony folk, be they unicorns like myself, Pegasi, or earth ponies. I serve them all with the same gentle smile and open heart. That's why it is with great honor that I received a call for possibly my most important job to date. I am to return to Ponyville in service of Princess Twilight Sparkle. It's not just the princess status that makes this job important, however. I recently visited Ponyville on another assignment, providing an exorcism for Lady Rarity's Carousel Boutique. Alas, it seems that instead of passing to the afterlife, the lost soul that played within the Ponykins have transferred to the Castle of Friendship. Given the proximity to the recently established Friendship School, it is with the utmost importance that this job be completed properly. Traumatizing children would be a terrible misfortune, not just for their own future, but also because Equestria needs more sympathy towards the restless dead, not less. Thus, I'm heading to Canterlot Station immediately, dressed in my finest blue robes and my wide-brimmed hat. I board the first evening service, due to arrive in Ponyville by sunset. Upon arriving at Ponyville Station, Princess Twilight is already waiting for me. Even through the obscuring mist of vented steam, she's clearly looking rather worse for wear. Bloodshot eyes, disheveled mane, and the odd missing feather or two tells me I arrived just in time. Departing the train with my lantern in tow, I remove my hat, bow, and put on a warm smile. She returns the gesture in kind.
"You must be Midnight Glow,"
she says, voice cracking slightly.
"How was your journey?"
"Uneventful, but pleasant, Your Highness," I reply. Twilight's right eye twitches a little.
"No need for formalities. Just Twilight will do."
"Oh, absolutely. Sorry. I didn't mean to cause offense."
No, you didn't."
Twilight bursts and flashes an awkward smile.
"I should be apologizing for the last-minute call. I've been working night and day to ward off the ghosts, but nothing's working. It's been a struggle just to keep the friendship school free from the hauntings.
I feel a slight pang of guilt at the mention of the G word, but I suppose it emphasizes why I'm here. Perhaps I can turn this into a learning experience for Twilight students, using Celestia's light to help those from beyond. I understand, I said, placing a comforting hoof on her shoulder. Give yourself a rest. I'll take care of everything. Twilight breathed a great sigh of relief.
Thank you. I'll be staying with Rarity in the meantime. I've left the lights on in advance and compiled a lexicon of books on exorcism practices, should you need help.
From under her wing, Twilight unfolds a list of books, so long that it reaches all the way to the other end of the platform. That's quite all right, I reply with a light-hearted chuckle. I will handle the spirit communion. By the grace of Celestia's light, it shouldn't be hard to reveal what binds him to this world. It would be easy to say I had absolute confidence in my ability as a lantern keeper, but that would put me on an undeserved pedestal. I always have doubts. That little voice in the back of your mind, wondering about all the possible disasters just around the corner. Every pony gets it, no matter how confident they may outwardly appear. The key to success is learning to accept the possibility of failure. Sometimes, the dice of fate do not roll in our favor. Mistakes happen, unexpected complications arise, or some other unseen factor prevents us from doing our jobs. If we are willing to learn and grow from our mistakes, it won't be the end of the world. Exorcising the Carousel Boutique was one of the highest profile jobs I've taken on. While Miss Rarity may not be royalty, she bears one of the world-famous elements of harmony. The social status was bound to put extra pressure on me. On my last visit, one look at the Castle of Friendship melted my worries away. It was like a great weight had been lifted from my shoulders. Perhaps it's more to do with what the castle represents, as opposed to any magical properties. But either way, its presence brought me peace. This time, it was different. The moment I lay eyes upon the grand monument, my heart skips a beat. Suddenly, I'm aware of how heavy I'm breathing, coupled with a strange dryness in my mouth. Everything feels subtly different. Gone is the hustle and bustle of Ponyville evening life, replaced by the ominous sound of whispering wind and rustling trees. As the setting sun casts its long shadow over me, I find my vision fixated on the sharp angles of each spire, only adding to the overall impression of menace. Little wonder why all the closest houses sat abandoned. Word of the haunting alone is enough to make most ponies move as far from the area as they can. Whatever's causing this sensation, I'll have to grin and bear it. After all, I have a job to do. Pushing the front doors open, I cross the threshold and feel the first signs of paranormal activity in an instant. I sense a dramatic drop in temperature, as if I've teleported to the frozen waste around the Crystal Empire. With a gentle swing of my lantern from side to side, I begin to chant my family's mantra, a phrase passed down through generations. Hear my voice, O wayward soul, I say, my breath condensing into light mist. Relieve thy pain through Celestia's light. My chanting elicits an immediate response. The lights start to flicker, and far from the corner of my vision, a black shape darts past. I turn to face the figure, only to be greeted by an exploding chandelier. On reflex, I throw up a magical barrier, narrowly avoiding the burn of showering sparks. A childish giggle echoes throughout the hall, exploding each successive light in turn, save for my lantern. The room goes quiet once more. I take a couple of deep breaths to calm my racing heart before continuing. I sweep my lantern across the floor and make my way towards the central staircase. My eyes are keen on any leftover glass. So far, the spiritual activity is exactly as Twilight described in her letter. It wouldn't surprise me if this is all the work of a mischievous child spirit. If so, then it would explain why the soul didn't pass on. In my experience, child spirits are the hardest to exorcise, given their stubborn nature and propensity towards pranks. However likely it may be, I can't be certain just yet. Best to get as much information as I can before reaching any solid conclusion. I trot up the stairs, and the high-pitched voice returns. But this time, it isn't a giggle. It's a sob. Closing my eyes, I listen carefully for the direction the cries are coming from. The source seems to be changing from moment to moment, but with some patience. It doesn't take long to realize the cries are slightly louder when coming from the left. Reaching the first floor hallway, I'm greeted with the sight of every door to every room left wide open. Though this allows moonlight to fill the halls, I keep my lantern shining full glow. One can never be too careful when dealing with spectral jokers. Don't be afraid, little one, I say as I approach the first room on my left. I'm here to help. Tell me what troubles you. Celestia's light will free you from such a burden. A horrible scream assaults my ears, the door slamming in my face before I can get a good look inside. Unflinching, I remain still, waiting for the apparition to pass behind me. Predictably, it does just that, leaving but a moment to follow its path. As soon as the giggles return, I take off down the hallway in a gallop. Following the voice amongst a cacophonous choir of slamming doors proves tricky, but I'm not so easily dissuaded. Ready or not, here I come. Hopefully playing along will work in my favor, and the spirit will reveal itself once I find its hiding spot. Though it may not have realized, my quick reflexes have already revealed the first visual sign of its presence. A phenomenon known to ponies as will-o-wisps. I repeat my mantra as I run, trying over and over to catch the wisp within my lantern's light. Time and time again, the wisp is almost in my magical grasp, yet with each successive attempt, it somehow slips through, effortlessly racing ahead. So close. I must keep trying. I almost have it. It's only after 10 straight minutes of galloping that I realize I've been tricked. Glancing at the room numbers, I soon realize that the sequence is looping. Skidding to a halt, I pull back my lantern and weave a quick detection spell. I can't be teleporting. I would have noticed the magical flash if I were. There must be a portal somewhere that sends me back. Yet my spell comes up with nothing. If I'm to break this loop, I'll need to pursue a different angle. I will call the spirits to me instead of chasing them. My first port of call will be room 232. Slowly, I turn the knob and push the door open. Celestia, be my guide. The door creaks as it swings open, the temperature dropping even further. In my lantern's light, I see that the curtains are tied back, allowing the open window's shutters to clatter in the breeze. I can't see anything unusual yet. To my left, there is a double bed with pink covers. To my right, a mirror sat upon the chest of drawers. There! I see it! Reflected in the mirror, I see a small figure in pink fur, hunched over in the corner. A quick glance back across the room shows nothing there. Looking back to the mirror, the figure is still there, only now, it's accompanied by the soft sound of a filly sobbing. The image is getting clearer, revealing a long yellow mane and a small pink horn poking out from the top. At last, I've found the culprit that's been giving me such a runaround. Easy there, little one, I say in a gentle voice, though the filly keeps her face hidden. She's shivering violently. The poor thing. She must be scared out of her mind right now. I'm not here to hurt you. Please, look at my lantern. I promise it will ease your pain. As I inch closer, the filly stops crying, relaxing her posture. Looking directly in the mirror, I shine my lantern over her. Time to begin my exorcism chants. Before the words even escape my lips, the little unicorn's head snaps right around, erupting with a hideous scream from a mouth full of jagged teeth, bearing down at me with black pits where eyes would be. The scream is so powerful, it effortlessly blows me off my hooves, flinging me out the door and slamming it in my face. For the briefest of moments, my lantern flickers, a bolt of panic shooting through me, magic surging through my horn on reflex to keep it alight. Don't go out, don't go out, don't go out, don't go out. I just about managed to keep it alight. Thanks, Celestia. Raising to my hooves, I take a few deep breaths, calming my racing heart, checking over my lantern to ensure it isn't damaged. If what I just saw is a child's spirit, then she must have been twisted into something truly grotesque. This can't be the same spirit that possessed Rarity's ponykins. There must be something more going on. Just what did Princess Twilight do to attract such a wickedness to her castle? I need to go back into that room. Run! A little voice whispers in my mind. Save yourself. It isn't safe. No, I will not abandon a lost soul. No matter what the costs, I will relieve it from limbo, as is my duty. Please don't do this. The voice whispers again, but I ignore it. I thought I was long rid of such needless paranoia, but it seems they're more persistent than expected. Lantern's light guides me home, I repeat, needing some force to open the door this time. I step inside. The door. The same door. I'm back in the hallway. Turning around, I walk through the door I just exited, and again, I find myself returned to the hall facing it. I stamp my hoof, snorting. So that's how you want to play it. Flaring my horn, I conjure up the image of the tower staircase in my mind and teleport. Blinking back into existence, I find myself standing in the middle of the tower spiral staircase. Just as intended. No evil force will keep me trapped while I herald the blessing of Celestia. With that out of the way, I can get back to the task at hoof. I wonder if one of Twilight's library books can provide clues to the anomaly's source. As I ascend the stairs, I spare a glance out the window. What a beautiful day to behold. Wait a minute. Day? Glancing back and forth between the pitch-black stairs and the shining summer sun outside. What's going on here? It was evening when I entered the castle. For how long was I stuck in that hallway? Running up to the next window only adds to my confusion. The view has switched to nighttime. The castle is getting stranger by the minute. With each window I pass, the scenery alters. Am I stuck in a loop again? Was I ever free from it in the first place? Closing my eyes for a second, I hear no laughter, no screams, no sobs. Nothing at all. Now my heart is really thumping. I've got to break this curse. I try and teleport once more, thinking of the castle library. A flash and I'm back on the stairs. The view of Ponyville outside is upside down. My horn lights again, trying for a levitation spell, but I stop mid-cast. I'm not falling. Slumping down in the stairs, I start panting heavily from exhaustion, sweat trickling down my face. What am I supposed to do now? In my times as a lantern keeper, I've witnessed objects flying, lights breaking, all manner of activity that goes bump in the night, but never warping reality. What have I gotten myself into? Was there ever really a spirit here? Twilight Sparkle, what have you done to me?
Midnight glow.
What? Who said that?
Midnight glow.
The voice comes again, goosebumps prickling down my fur.
Try again, Midnight glow. You're so close. Don't give up.
Great. Now I'm losing my sanity too. No. The voice is right, I must not falter. There is a filly's lost soul somewhere in this castle. I will break her free, no matter what tries to hold me back. It's time to step up my game. O Lantern of Souls, O guiding light, dispel the darkness that entraps me. In the name of Princess Celestia, Herald of the Sun, I cast ye evil out! My lantern roars to life, releasing a brilliant shine that reveals the thick aura of dark magic penetrating this castle. An agonized scream resonates around me, shaking the stairway to its foundation. I wince in pain, pushing my magic to its limits, yet I remain steadfast. By Celestia's command, I rebuke thee! I rebuke thee! My light swells in a magical storm, dispersing the dark force at its last. Slithering tentacles retreat up the stairwell. Now it's just me and the filly's soul I saw before. I've expended a lot of magic, but I still have plenty left to keep the lantern shining. Oh, thanks, Celestia. Now to do what I came here to do. Are you all right, child? I ask, enveloping the filly in a comforting glow.
I'm okay, yes.
The filly says with a shaky voice, forcing a smile.
Thank you so much, mister.
Think nothing of it. What is your name?
My name? I'm Taffy Delight. You must be Midnight Glow, right?
Yes, I pause mid-sentence and stare down at the filly. How did she know my name? Was she the voice I heard spurring on me? Whatever the case, now's not the time to let it bother me. I must save the child before the dark creature returns. Rest easy now, little one. Look into my lantern. It will guide you to your final rest.
Final rest?
I hear the quiver in the filly's voice. Poor girl. She must not have realized she's already dead.
But no! I've got to warn every pony of the monster! It's
powerless against Celestia's light. I shush the filly, gently waving my lantern over her head. Worry not, child. I know death is a hard subject to face. Leave me to the monster. It can't hurt you anymore.
No! Listen to me! The monster is super old! Older than any of my family! Ask Princess Twilight. She'll...
I think Princess Twilight has done enough for one day. The lantern's light envelops Taffy in its protective shine. By Celestia's light, I free you from this world. May my holy lantern guide you safely to the next life. With one final swing, Taffy Delight is gone. Now, to move on to more pressing matters. If the filly isn't causing all these bizarre reality shifts, what is? Taking a moment to catch my breath, I pull back on my magic just a little. I'll need to conserve it if I'm to cleanse the entire castle. Sparring a glance out the window, everything appears to be normal. A few house lights remain on, ponies burning the midnight oil. But nothing out of the ordinary. The stairs are next. Gingerly placing my hoof against each step, I hear a small echo, but nothing more. No sinking steps, no sudden changes in location. Have I really dispelled the castle all at once? No. That would be too easy. There must be something more going on here. I'll get to the bottom of this, if it's the last thing I do. It takes less than a minute to reach the 3rd floor. The threshold barred by another door. I pull the handle down and brace myself for what awaits beyond. My heart's a jackhammer. Adrenaline's pumping in my veins. Mind awash with all manner of possible threats. Each one more terrible than the last. Just as I move to walk inside, a beast with bright yellow eyes confronts me. Leaping away, I flare my horn to life, ready for battle. Locking eyes with the creature, I use my lantern to reveal the full extent of its monstrosity. Static. It's a statue. I let my defensive spell fade, giving myself a moment to settle my heart rate. Wiping the sweat from my brow, I raise my lantern to get a better look at the room. But first, I set about weaving a small protection ward, just in case. The walls are lined with dozens of books, far too many to sift through in one night. However, it looks as though Twilight has already done most of the legwork. In the room's center, there rests a small round table with half a dozen books stacked on top of one another. I do recall Twilight mentioning she prepared a selection of books regarding spiritual communions. Perhaps her conjuring of dark magic was done by accident, a rookie mistake. I'll find out the why later. For the moment, I'd best focus on how. At least I can take solace in the inanimate nature of the... Wait, what was that sound? A rattle? A groan? I snapped back around to face the gargoyle, but it remained still. I know I heard something. Didn't I? Once more, my blood runs cold. It still doesn't move. But if it didn't make the noise, what did? Is my sanity slipping away already? A glance at my hooves reveals the answer. A squeaky floorboard. I'm getting spooked by a damn squeaky floorboard. I swear, if this is a prank, Celestia won't soon hear the end of it. Just as I let myself relax, a loud bang from behind me makes me jump. Yet again, I find myself spinning to face the source, and lo and behold, a book has fallen from the shelf. I'm starting to think I'm wasting my time here. I helped the filly pass on, and now I'm getting spooked by any old noise.
Keep going.
Those damnable whispers again. Where do these keep coming from?
No, not crazy. Keep going. Finish the job.
Well, wherever these stray thoughts are coming from, they are right about one thing. I have a gut feeling there is still something to be uncovered. And I won't leave my assignment half-finished like I did last time. I pause for a moment, listening carefully for any other stray sounds that may want my attention. Quiet. Good. And now I can focus. Trotting back to the table, I put my lantern down on it and opened the first book in the pile.
The books are the answers.
That's what the first page says. How did I know that? Turning the page, I read on.
Put them back.
This doesn't make any sense. Why would putting them away give me answers to anything?
Put them back.
All right. Raising my lamp, I see the bookcase has several spaces missing. These must be where the books go. Well, I suppose this won't be the first time I've trusted my instincts. I don't know if they're supposed to be in any specific order, but I'm sure it's something Twilight will figure out herself. Grasping each book in my magic, I slide them into place one by one. As the last book slides into place, I hear a click coming from the table. Is it moving? No, it's sinking. Not just that, it's glowing a dark shade of purple. What manner of magic have I unleashed? I grab my lantern and race for the door. It slams in my face. I wiggle the handle a few times, but it doesn't budge. I'm locked in. Celestia, be my guide. Reject the evil before me. I repeat the chant over and over, but it does nothing. My lantern isn't getting brighter, and the dark magic only grows, swirling around in a winding spiral as it sucks in everything. Celestia, be my guide. Celestia, be my guide. Celestia, be my guide. I must hold on. I try to teleport, but my magic isn't working. Even the lantern's light is dying. Oh, sweet Celestia, no. I must keep it lit. I'm losing my footing. It's sucking me in. I'm trying to run, but I can't escape its pull. Oh, sweet Celestia, dear Celestia, oh bringer of light, oh guider of... Gasping for air, I return to the waking world. Everything is pitch black. Where am I? Still in Twilight's castle? Have I gone blind? My lantern! Where's my lantern? I scramble to my hooves, desperately feeling around for its guiding warmth. I'm in luck. It's beside me. The only source of light in this Celestia-forsaken place. It's lit, but only just. I try to levitate it, but I'm barely able to get it off the ground, let alone make it brighter. What just happened to me? The last thing I remembered was returning Twilight's books, and then darkness. Just darkness. I levitate my lantern closer. I must keep it alight at all costs. The light won't extinguish, I swear by it. Great light of Celestia, Please do not abandon me in my hour of need. No, I've got to get a hold of myself. Wherever I am, I can find my way out. I'm not so easily beaten by the evils of this world. I've been in tough situations before. I know the light will keep me safe. Standing up proves to be difficult. It's taking all my strength just to hold myself together, let alone walk. I take a few tentative hoof steps forward, swaying from side to side. My head is pounding, but I don't feel dizzy. Then again, it's difficult to tell without a frame of reference. I feel my hooves clattering on the hard floor, though it isn't made of crystal like the rest of the castle. Rather, I'm walking on stone tiles. I didn't know anywhere in Twilight's castle was made of stone. Perhaps this is a secret area, only accessible by that dark portal.
Walk on. Find for yourself.
What? Who's there? Show yourself!
I am you. I am all. I am one.
No, I will not be tormented by these voices any longer. Leave me alone, Celestia, damn it!
You seek the light, yes?
Yes? I reply with some reluctance. I need the light. Please guide me to Celestia's son once more.
Then walk. All will be revealed to those who seek the light.
Yes, I will go. It's not like I have much of a choice anyway. If obedience means escaping, then I'll obey. Step by step, I make my way through the narrow tunnel. It doesn't take long for the noise to return. A rhythmic banging of metal on metal, the rattling of cages, the dreadful moans. I'm constantly glancing over my shoulder, trying in vain to find the source of the noises. I cannot stop myself from shaking. Every instinct tells me to run, but I know it would be pointless. Where could I possibly run to? Just as I'm starting to think this tunnel will go on forever, my hoof strikes against something. Wincing from the pain, I look down and see I've reached a set of stairs. What's more, the ominous sounds are all coming from above, suggesting their origin lies at the top. I swallow hard. I'm not sure I want to know what is at the top, yet the decision is not mine to make. The moment I try and turn around, I feel a force grab hold of me, levitating me up the stairs. As I ascend, my lantern's light starts to flash. Every second that passes gives me tiny glances at things no pony eye was ever meant to see. Things that stretch the boundaries of my own mortal comprehension. Like the windows in the castle spire, the image changes from moment to moment. I see the tree of harmony, growing from a tiny crystal sapling ages before ponykind. But wait, what's that surrounding it? The stairs take a sharp bank to the right, and I'm suddenly on my hooves again, galloping through every twist and turn and inversion.
Behold, admire, understand.
The voices are getting louder now, babbling at such speeds that my mind can hardly keep up.
Show us, guide us. We are everywhere. We are unreality.
More visions assault my eyes. Imposing structures deep below the earth, gigantic in their size, impossible in their architecture. Rooms within rooms. A maze of stairs crossing over at every conceivable direction.
We are here. We are always here. We are infinity.
The way ahead dissolves before my eyes, shifting into raw blackness of space far beyond our world. A vast sea of stars, yet none with light to make their presence clearer. And at the heart of it all, I see the ultimate horror. A creature gazing at me with a single gigantic eye. An eye so huge that all of Canterlot would fit inside with room to spare. Endless tentacles each wrapped around a planet, pulling them into its gaping maw. It's looking at me, staring into my very soul.
We have awakened.
The horrid creature spreads its wings, blotting out the stars. It's descending upon me. Oh, great Celestia, I am prepared to meet my end. The sun raises, and I wake with a start. I'm hunched over the cutie maps table. When did I get here? I don't remember. My head is pounding and my vision is blurry. But the one thing I can clearly see is my lantern. The light is out. I must have fallen asleep after my visit to the castle's library. No, I remember. I know what I saw. I must warn the princesses.
They won't believe you.
No, they won't believe me.
They'll think you're insane.
They'll think I'm insane.
Go. Preach. But preach to those who will listen.
Yes, the princesses may not listen, but the citizens must know. They must know of the old ones, the ones sleeping, dreaming deep below the Tree of Harmony. I leap to my hooves, lighting my lantern again. Ponies of Equestria! I yell at the top of my lungs, cackling as I burst through the castle doors. Heed my words! They are returning! Our old masters awaken!
You are the herald of the old gods.
I am the herald of the old gods! The color of my lantern's light changes from yellow to black.